What is going on, SoFi fans? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to give you a very quick overview of the data points, what they're truly saying behind the scenes, and where things might be going from here. Before I get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. Without further ado, let's get right to it. So starting off, looking at options activity. So I wanted to bring this up first before I touch on today's. So this one was from Friday. So generally speaking, if you take this one out, it was very optimistic, but this one stood out to me. And so it was $1.84 million in put premium. So clearly someone is very much doubtful on SoFi, and based on Friday, you can see the active chain. So it shows April and June, roughly around the $5 put. So of course, behind the scenes, I think someone is very much betting against SoFi, but keep in mind, options do not move the stock price. It is just more of a sentiment. So just be aware of that. That's what happened on Friday. But as far as today, normally starting out was fairly optimistic, but once again, you do get another large put. And I think that has to do with a lot of the banking sector having a lot of cracks in it. So in general, I think that might be something you need to factor in. But keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor. You guys do your own due diligence at the end of the day. All I'm doing is throwing facts at you guys and stats. You guys interpret that how you see fit. And as far as buying, so these are all the transactions that did occur so far today within the first hour of the trading day on the secondary market. So roughly around 3, and 2 of which were buys. And you can tell that based on the bid, the ask, and the selling price, which generally speaking, it kind of looks like it's going to be the norm. Majority of the big transactions occur after hours for SoFi. So again, that might be something just to factor in, but still looks fairly normal. As far as the dark pool though, it is a little bit more picking up, and normally dark pool is very much linked to shorting. So I'll give you guys a quick update on that. I like to talk on shorts, not necessarily because it's going to be a squeeze, but it's used as a good benchmark. So right now, shorts are increasing 2.11 million shares. So that's actually pretty significant. And so I think this is more so piggybacking off of this amount of put premiums or puts being purchased. So there is a lot of downside anticipated potentially, but right now there is a grand total of 87.11 million shares being shorted. 11.01% of the free float is being shorted. And in general, it's starting to creep up a little bit, but I think SoFi's earnings speak for themselves. Normally what happens is, like pre-rev companies or kind of gray companies per se, there's a lot of shorts, because at one time short interest on SoFi was almost around 25-26%, and so it's 11%, has gone down quite a lot. One way to get shorts out is just do the damn job and actually get good results, and SoFi does that, and they get a lot of good results because of this. So this is just, for the most part, just a comparison between the big institutions, for the most part, what they offer for checking APY and savings. SoFi can't be competed with by any means. So this is why on every quarter, the member growth consistently goes up massively. And of course, if member growth goes up, then products go up, then also deposits go up. So in general, SoFi is having a huge amount of influence in the market right now. And I think that's a very positive thing. And even looking here, number of ETFs, I like to monitor this as well. So currently there's 58 ETFs that hold SoFi in its portfolios. And generally, last time I checked, which was almost around a quarter ago, it was at 52. So it's gone up quite a lot. So in general, I think that's a pretty good thing to see nice developments in that regard. And over and above all this though, one very much impressive aspect of SoFi is just Anthony Noto. So these are all the insider transactions. And like I've said in previous videos, Anthony buying the huge amount that he has been is just unbelievable. It's absolutely insane. But regardless, let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comments below. There is a couple of things coming up this week that could cause a little bit more volatility, and that is more so for Thursday with GDP, and then on Friday there is PCE, and potentially it is wedge bound between that 100-day moving average and that central Bollinger Band. So given the circumstances, I do anticipate it to be continuing to be wedge bound between here up until most likely the GDP numbers coming out on Thursday, on which it should, in theory, trend up because of that. So like I said, I think the data points are all pointing to a little bit more bearishness, but I think that's more of a broader economic concerns rather than SoFi concerns. And I think that's a a big thing people need to realize. But looking here, so a number of retail investors are getting in today, so that's a pretty positive sign. Stochastic has gone from very much oversold to kind of neutral, but there is still that underlying bullish sentiment. So the black line above the red showing upside is anticipated, at least in the short term. But like I said, let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comments below. So most likely with positive GDP, it'll kind of continue to trend within this range. I don't see it having enough right now given the circumstances to break the 50-day moving average, but most likely a cap would be around $6.28. But of course, my crystal ball sometimes is not always working correctly, so make sure you guys do your own due diligence. Once again, let me know your thoughts on SoFi in the comments below. Give yourself a shout out as well if you have been buying, selling, holding, what you've been doing, and where you see things going. Give yourself a shout out as well. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And if you do like my SoFi content and want to support the channel, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With that said, appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on SoFi.